It's hard to believe that the same Elvis who brought us unforgettable Christmas classics could deliver something so underwhelming. This new Christmas album feels like a missed opportunity, a shadow of its predecessor's magic. It's a mix of traditional carols, seasonal favorites, some new songs, and a dash of R&B, but it just doesn't measure up. The title, The Wonderful World of Christmas, sounds promising, but the execution falls flat. Let's start with the highlights. Elvis revives a gem from 1947, Merry Christmas Baby, by Johnny Moore's Three Blazers. For 6 magical minutes, it's like stepping into a time capsule. It's a single take, and you can almost hear Elvis telling the bass player, "Wake up, put." During the recording, the late night feels obvious, but the music still shines. This standout track shows that, even in a mediocre album, Elvis can still deliver the goods. The album also features 3 new songs about longing for loved ones over Christmas. However, none compare to the poignancy of Elvis's classic, I'll Be Home for Christmas from 1957. The new songs like If I Get Home on Christmas Day and It Won't Seem Like Christmas try to capture the same feeling, but they fall short. One, inspired by Michael Jarrett after a weed smoking moment, feels particularly forced. A special mention goes to Tony Macaulay, an English writer who created a song especially for Elvis. Macaulay immersed himself in Elvis's world for a day, trying to capture the king's unique sound. The result, while not a hit, shows Macaulay's dedication and understanding of Elvis's style. The album also includes some familiar holiday staples like Winter Wonderland and Silver Bells. These tracks reveal a different side of Elvis, one that's more subdued and respectful of tradition. It's like catching a glimpse of Elvis in Perry Como's territory or Bing Crosby's cozy living room. These covers show Elvis's willingness to blend in with the holiday classics, even if they don't bring anything groundbreaking to the table. However, when it comes to religious songs, Elvis shows more passion and commitment. The gospel album He Touched Me feels more authentic. Tracks like I've Got Confidence and Amazing Grace showcase Elvis's genuine faith and connection to the music. These songs are where Elvis truly shines, with a sound that's unmistakably him. Despite some strong moments, the album's overall quality is uneven. Some tracks feel like they could have been recorded by anyone, lacking the unique spark that made Elvis's earlier Christmas albums so special. The rockabilly influence is present, but it's not enough to save the album from its mediocre state. One standout performance comes from Chris Christopherson's Help Me Make It Through the Night. Elvis's voice soars, and the emotional depth of the song comes through. Even when tackling more contemporary sounds like the folk country style of Gordon Lightfoot and Buffy Sainte-Marie, Elvis manages to make the songs his own. The track Fools Rush In, a Johnny Mercer classic, is perhaps the most enjoyable. With James Burton's famous guitar break, it's a joy to listen to. Elvis's energy is palpable, and it's clear he's having a great time recording this song. In the end, The Wonderful World of Christmas is a letdown after the magic of Elvis's previous holiday albums. It's a reminder that even legends can stumble sometimes. Yet amidst the mediocrity, there are moments of brilliance that keep the spirit of Christmas alive. Elvis may have missed the mark with this album, but his love for the season and the music shines through, leaving fans with something to cherish, even if it's not perfection. In 1972, Elvis Presley was very busy making music. Some songs that people thought were new, like Elvis Now, were actually from years before. Hey Jude, a song many people loved, was recorded in 1969 but released later. Another song, Sylvia, was also from 1970. Jay Ramsey wrote a catchy song called We Can Make the Morning, which added to Elvis's collection. Elvis's team decided to put some extra songs from these recording sessions on his 1973 album simply called Elvis. This album had tracks like For Lovin' Me and a song from a British artist about loving life, Love Me, Love the Life I Lead. Elvis had also recorded a song by Tony Arden called Padre, which was a hit many years earlier. He liked to try new things, so he recorded 3 songs at the piano, including a version of Bob Dylan's Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. Elvis only used a small part of it on the album, but it showed his love for different kinds of music. 2 new songs became hit singles from these sessions. I'm Leavin' did well in the US easy listening charts, but Elvis felt it wasn't one of his best singles. He believed it should have been a bigger hit. The second single, It's Only Love, did not do as well in the US but performed better in the UK. RCA also released a special package with 2 of Elvis's classic hits, Heartbreak Hotel and Hound Dog, which did very well. Elvis also recorded The Lord's Prayer with a lot of laughter, showing his playful side. He tried his hand at songs like Lady Madonna and I Shall Be Released, but felt he needed more time to perfect them. There was a moment when he almost recorded My Way, but he walked out in a fit of frustration after a backing singer criticized him. In 1971, Elvis received honors from his hometown of Tupelo and Memphis. His birthplace and a stretch of highway were named after him, showing how much he meant to his home. That same year, Elvis had a fantastic run at the Sahara Tahoe Hotel in Lake Tahoe. His shows were extravagant, with grand entrances and dazzling costumes. He performed 85 shows in just 6 weeks, filling the hotel with excited fans. However, the hotel faced issues with fire codes due to the large crowds. Elvis's performances were energetic and unpredictable. Glenn D. Hardin, his pianist, said it was like never knowing what would happen next. Ronnie Tutt, the drummer, compared working with Elvis to performing with a stripper because he had to be very focused. Jerry Scheff, the bass player, noted that Elvis wanted to be seen as serious music, moving away from just rock and roll. However, not everything was smooth sailing. A major biography on Elvis came out without his input, which upset him. The author, Jerry Hopkins, did not portray Elvis's family as he wanted. Elvis felt strongly about his family's image. As 1971 went on, Elvis's relationship with his wife Priscilla began to strain. After Sonny West told Elvis about Priscilla's affair, things became tense. Elvis felt betrayed, especially since Priscilla was the one thing he couldn't have taken away from him. Christmas at Graceland was cold, and Elvis even thought about getting weapons and starting a drugstore as a gift to himself. Elvis's personal life was tumultuous. He had affairs, including one with a congressional aide named Joyce Bova, who wrote about their time together. Around his birthday, Elvis announced Priscilla and their daughter Lisa Marie would move to Los Angeles, marking another change in their lives. As Elvis continued to tour, he shortened his performances to 45 minutes, leaving less room for his usual improvisation. Despite the challenges, Elvis kept performing, bringing joy to his fans across different venues like the Hilton in Las Vegas and back to Lake Tahoe. Elvis Presley, in the early 1970s, was at a crossroads. He had some new songs that were unique, but they didn't see the light of day. One of these songs was Never Been to Spain. It was a fun song that Hoyt Axton wrote, and it showed Elvis could have had fun with it. But it never came out as an album called Standing Room Only. Elvis had songs that other singers had made famous. One was Never Been to Spain by Hoyt Axton. Another was You Gave Me a Mountain by Marty Robbins. This song was about love lost and fit Elvis well since he was good at showing emotions. It's Impossible by Perry Como was another song Elvis liked. It was a nice, slow song that Elvis could have done well. There was also The Impossible Dream from the musical Man of La Mancha. Elvis did this song better than the movie star Peter O'Toole did. Lastly, there was It's Over by Jimmy Rogers, not the country singer but the pop one. Elvis's version was okay, but could have been better with Roy Orbison's take. In 1977, Gene Pitney mixed some of these songs with others to create something new. Elvis was working on a song called An American Trilogy by Mickey Newbury. This song was very popular and made people feel proud to be American. It was a great time as the Vietnam War was ending. Sometimes Elvis would sing this song and a flag would appear, showing how much it meant to the audience. Elvis also played around with songs, combining Hound Dog with a guitar style similar to Tony Joe White and mixing Little Sister with the Beatles' Get Back. These were fun, short versions, showing Elvis was playful with his music. Rumors swirled that Elvis might tour Europe, but his manager, Colonel Parker, said no. Though Elvis wanted to go, he never did. Instead, his group, the Imperials, were finding their own path. Elvis asked his friend J.D. Sumner to join him, and J.D. brought his group, the Stamps Quartet, to tour with Elvis. J.D. was known for his powerful singing style, which Elvis loved. Around this time, people guessed that Elvis's marriage to Priscilla was having problems. He invited her to his last Vegas show, which must have made her nervous. Elvis would dedicate songs to her, showing how much she meant to him. But things were not easy between them, especially with Colonel Parker around. Elvis was busy making music. In March 1972, he had great recording sessions, making 7 songs that were all good. However, he didn't think much of Burning Love, a song written by a young guitarist named Dennis Lind. Lind had written the song for another artist, but Elvis liked the idea. The song had a fun rhythm that was a bit like Elvis's own A Big Hunk O' Love. Felton Jarvis, an important person in Elvis's music life, told Elvis about the song. Elvis thought the words were strange but liked the music. He added a fun dance move, the hunka hunka, and asked another guitarist, Dennis Lind, to add his cool riff at the start. The song had a strong bass line, which made it special. Despite making this song, Elvis still didn't think much of rock music. He wished he could find more hard rock songs to record. But Burning Love was a classic, even if Elvis didn't realize it at the time. He wanted songs that showed sadness and broken relationships, like a song he might have made for Priscilla. Elvis wrote songs like Separate Ways about life at Graceland and the hard time Priscilla might be having. Chris Christopherson's For the Good Times became a favorite, as it was about a relationship ending but still had a touch of romance. James Last's Fool made Elvis reflect on his actions, while Always on My Mind was a beautiful ballad about being thinking about someone all the time. In the end, Elvis had a bunch of great songs that showed his feelings, but they didn't all get made into albums. If he had, maybe he could have made an album that matched Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan 3 years earlier. It's a mystery what Elvis was thinking, but it's clear he had deep feelings he wanted to express through his music.